If only I was born with longer arms. Friends, it is looking so exciting in here. There is so much room for activities. Do you see how big it is in here? It's really not that big. It's only like 300 square feet, but it's like double the size of my last shop. So it feels like the Taj Mahal in here. Anyway, I'm not gonna get too excited because it's not gonna feel this big forever. Last time we were in here, there were a lot of dramatics. We demoed, we found a ton of issues. I ended up contracting out to help with those issues because a lot of them were like health related, structure related. You know the drill. If you missed that video, go check it out. You'll see what I'm talking about. Now that we are in here and it is gutted, it's looking good. I was away at a conference for a week and then I got sick for a week. So I've been basically out of the picture for 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, so much work has gotten done in here. I'm so excited. But because I had a contract out for this project, I am spending way more money than I wanted to. So to help recoup some of that cost, I decided that I'm going to try to refinish these concrete floors all by myself. Have I ever done that before? No, but like how hard could it be, right? I always say that and then it's like ends up being so freaking hard, but you know, it's never stopped me from trying, so here we are. Anyway, it is Sunday. The guys are not coming in until tomorrow. So while they are not here, we are gonna do these floors and they're gonna dry in time for them to come back and do some work tomorrow. This is really ambitious. Not feeling 100% certain about it at this current moment, but I know that when it's done, we're gonna be pumped. So let's get started. Okay, friends, so first thing that I need to do in this space is clean the floors. So I'm going to grab my shop blower just to kind of blow out all of the debris, and then I'm gonna bring my hose in and we're gonna hose down and scrub this entire floor. The good news is that the product I'm using actually needs the concrete to be wet when applying it. So I don't have to wait for the floor to dry. It just needs to stay damp. And once it's damp, I am gonna come in with my angle grinder and I'm gonna start trying to like grind up some of this paint that's on the floor and try to just get as much of the stuff and debris out of here as possible so we can start with the cleanest of clean slates before pouring any concrete. So let's clean. I love cleaning. I don't know why. Cleaning makes me so happy. Before we dive headfirst into this project, I do want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, DAP Products. Although I did a lot of work on this space, they really helped me level up this floor. I cannot wait to show you at the end of this video. Now let's hop back on in to this project. It looks like in the movies when they douse the place with gasoline, they're like, get ready to burn down. Like this is my method right now. The dramatic movie equivalent of dousing gasoline everywhere. I think there's just like no rhyme or reason. It's like concrete soap. Concrete really isn't in terrible shape, so. So I realized when watching this back, it seems like I'm actually pouring gasoline on my floor. I'm not, it's concrete soap. I just needed to give this concrete floor a good wash to get any dirt, grime, grease, whatever I could off before pouring a new layer of concrete on top. As always though, I do have a full list of the materials and tools I used for this project in the video description below. And speaking of materials and tools, I was actually quoted about $1,050 to hire out for this job and I completed it for under 200 bucks. There are a couple of spots on the floor that have some paint. I guess the previous homeowner had like spilled some paint in here, whatever happens, that's what a garage is for, right? So I actually am going to take my angle grinder and I'm gonna kind of go around to these problem spots and grind up as much as I can. I'm not expecting it to be perfect. I don't think I can even get it perfect if I tried with this little angle grinder, but at least I'm gonna try to get as much of it up as I can so that when I start to pour the resurfacing concrete, it has a place to stick and then these areas won't like chip later on in the process. There are a couple of them and I think this is honestly gonna be the part of the project that takes the longest, so I'm gonna get started on that. Oh, also, by grinding this wet, there's gonna be way less dust. That's why I wet the floor before I started this. You got it. Where are my earphones? I'd love to listen to something other than the sound of a grinder. Let's get ready to rumble. So I'm not gonna lie, my original goal with this floor was I really actually wanted to polish it and grind down the concrete, but that is a job and a half and this floor needs way more work than that, which is why I'm actually choosing to essentially pour another layer of concrete on top of the currently existing slab to fill in a lot of the imperfections. But yes, in order to do that, you have to have a clean floor, so I just tried to get rid of whatever debris that I could before starting that process. Now, in terms of the product that I use to refinish the floor, I basically use like a concrete resurfacing product that's essentially just a watered down layer of concrete. Also, like, pro tip, don't pour half the bag on your feet when you're trying to pour it in the bucket. That was real smooth, Sam. Anyway, so I mixed up a couple of different batches of this concrete. It was a really like watery almost consistency, and then I poured that directly onto the concrete slab and squeegeed it out to get it level and looking nice. So while this was really easy to apply, one thing I want to note is you see that piece of wood that's running down the center of the slabs? Yeah, that used to be an expansion joint that's no longer functioning as one because it already is basically like concreted and caked into there. So I did get the okay from a concrete person to cover that up. There are other expansion joints in these slabs, but I'll show you those a little later. As you can see though, I basically just applied the product, squeegeed it, and used a brush to smooth it out. All right, so 2 things. 1, I really wish I had somebody else filming today while I was working because this stuff is like super time sensitive, but it's starting to set up. I can kind of see it. So I'm gonna make the bold decision to jump on back in there with the broom and get some final, just like even strokes. I gotta say, I was very skeptical about this product and it looks great. There's a lot of cleanup to do, like in the driveway area. I have to hose a lot of stuff down because there's just a lot of residual mess from the runoff, but this looks so much better. So I'm gonna just sneak in. I kind of actually don't think I need to touch that section here. There is one thing I want to patch though. It's starting to like set already and I don't want to ruin it. There are like a couple spots I'm not happy with. I'm shocked, honestly. I did not think that this was gonna work this well. I was so skeptical about this product. It just looks so much better than it did. Like there are still obviously parts that are like now I see have like dips in them, but I think I'm gonna patch those later. I hope that's something I could fix after it dries because you're gonna like really see that spot right there. Don't mess it up, Sam. Don't mess it up. If only I was born with longer arms. Anyone gonna notice it but me? No. But is it gonna probably annoy me every day I'm in here? Yeah, so we gotta get it. I gotta find a way to get it. Ugh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Okay. Okay. Oh, I feel so much better. That looks great. All right, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this alone. I'm gonna let this dry. I'm not gonna touch it anymore. I'm gonna close the doors. Maybe put like the heat on for a little bit in here, really let it do its thing. Once the guys do the drywall work, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna patch like all the sides up later in the process. I'm not worried about that right now. This was like my main concern. So, all right, we're just gonna close this. Okay. All right, I'll check back in tomorrow, friends, but success. All right, so the coat went on so great, but once it dried, I was able to see all of these holes and voids in the floor that were just really annoying me. So to fix it, I used DAP's Ready Mixed Concrete Patch. This is an awesome option for repairing holes and cracks in concrete or masonry surfaces. And because it's already a pre-mixed concrete patch product, it's super easy to apply, it hardens really durably, it's non-shrinking, and it also actually dried the same color as the skim coat that I did, which was really awesome. So not only did I use that on the floor itself, but I also used this product on the cracks in between the cinder block foundation that the garage is built on. I definitely didn't do all of the cracks because a lot of them will be hidden by cabinetry later on in the build process, but for the ones that were exposed, it made the concrete look super smooth and super nice, and I was able to paint over it eventually to match the rest of the floor. I mean, are we surprised that I left van marks in my floor? This is just, if there is something signature that belongs in this shop, I feel like this is it. I might not even fix that. I think that's hysterical. Oh, friends, it is looking so good in here. I just like can't believe that this is the same space. The floor still has a couple of moisture spots in it. I think it's because we're having this like weird weather right now where like one day it's 80 degrees and the next day is 50 degrees. So the concrete is releasing moisture in like different spots. So I have the heater running on the concrete for, you know, just a little bit. Probably just wait a couple more days until everything looks like it's even, and then I'll come back and I'll add a seal coat. But for now, I don't want to waste any time, so I'm gonna start sanding some of the drywall and priming and painting. There's still a couple of patches here that need a second coat, but I'm not worried about it. I have my electrician coming to do some electrical work, which is why we haven't patched anything over here. But as for everything else, like I'm gonna do some sanding, priming, painting, because on Monday, I have a friend coming to help me build some cabinets. So let's get some stuff done. Also, it's really nice that it's getting dark out, but it is super bright in the shop. I will take that. Yeah, I spoke too soon on the lights thing. As I'm watching this footage, I'm realizing that these LED lights are probably not gonna work out in the shop with my camera setup, so I'm probably gonna change them out later, but that's a problem for future Sam. For now, I just apologize for how wild this disco lighting looks in this video. Please, I hope that you can look past it and forgive me. In better news though, how incredible does the ceiling of my shop look? You guys, I'm so excited! I cannot wait to share my plans for the ceiling of this workshop. Oh, it's gonna be delicious. Okay, friends, it's looking so good in here. That's my song about how good my garage shop is looking, but anyway. I came in here last night, I primed all of the walls. This morning I actually painted this wall and that wall using leftover paint from my home reno stuff. I only focused on painting these two walls because my special guest is arriving tomorrow and we're gonna get started on working on the cabinets for my workshop, and these are the two walls that we're working on, so I just wanted them painted. I can come back and do the rest at a later date. I also have something kind of cool planned for this wall here. It's like a big wall, but we'll get there when we get there. I'm always getting ahead of myself. I'm just so excited. Okay, so today is concrete floor ceiling day. I think these floors look pretty cool. There are a couple spots here and there that are still slightly discolored, but I don't hate it. It kind of gives it like an acid wash look. I think it has to do a little bit with kind of like the moisture of the slab, as well as the fluctuating temperatures outside. I have lots of theories. It could be fixed if I really wanted to put the effort and time into it. Fortunately, I don't really have the effort and time to put into it right now, and I don't hate it enough to want to kind of start fresh, so we're gonna leave it alone. That being said, I'm going to add some clear coats. It needs 24 hours to dry. I basically have 24 hours until we start building these cabinets, so I have to get started on this, and I'm gonna throw on a podcast and we're gonna do it. Let's go, let's do it. So excited, so excited. In terms of the actual finishing process, this was super simple. I just used a concrete finishing product. I used it in matte. It went on dark. It dried the same color as the floor. I rolled it on with a paint roller. It honestly could not have been an easier process. Now, once the floors were sealed, I just had to tackle one more thing, and that was taking care of those expansion joints along the edges of the concrete slabs that I mentioned earlier in this video. To do this, I filled them with DAP's concrete and mortar filler and sealant. This is a really easy to use waterproof sealant that repairs cracks and holes in concrete. It is different than the patch I used earlier because it contains silicone additives which make it flexible, and you definitely want a flexible product for cracks that need to move and breathe. I also applied it to the bottom of my door since it's a waterproof product, and once that was done, my shop floor was ready to roll. Friends, can you believe that this is the same space? Like literally when we started this video, there were no walls, the floor looked like extra crappy, and now it's looking like a shop, and I'm so excited. So the floors, they kind of came out the way that I wanted them to, they kind of didn't. I mean, they look better than they did. There's still a couple of spots that like are a little patchy, but I feel like once I start putting cabinets in here, you're not really gonna see a lot of that anyway, so I'm cool with it. But I don't wanna like obsess about the floors. In fact, I'm so excited because in our next video, we're gonna be building cabinets with a very special guest that I'm so excited is coming. She's like literally the cabinet making queen. I cannot wait for her to be here. Then this is really gonna start looking like a garage workshop. I cannot wait to share the rest of this build with you. So if you're interested, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell because there's gonna be plenty of garage workshop content coming at you. In the meantime though, friends, there's tons to do, so I will see you soon. Happy DIYing.